on MuscleCar. This may be your father's Oldsmobile, but Rick and Tommy are going to turn it into your father's pile of car parts. Plus, mixing paint and a car show for some deserving kids. MuscleCar starts right now.
Hey y'all, welcome to MuscleCar. We've polished off our Mustang project and she's had a pretty good run. Later down the road, we're gonna throw a few more parts at it to see what it can really do. But for now, we're looking for something a little different to work on.
And since Limelight here was built basically as a stock type restoration, well, we don't want to just start throwing parts at it, because then it wouldn't be stock for very long now, would it?
So we need ourselves a project, and I just so happen to have an idea. You guys remember the Hurst Olds from back in the day? These bad boys were some of the most iconic muscle cars of their era. Not only did they perform really well, but they looked dang good doing it. My favorite of the bunch would have to be the 1969 Hurst Olds, because not only did it have a fire-breathing big block that was all business, but they were also just plain mean looking. But technology's came a long way since 1969, and there's a whole world of improvements that can be done and still retain that old school flavor. Suspension, interior, and power plant are just a few.
So we wanted to build something kind of along the lines of a 69 Hurst Olds. Now, it's a good idea, but kind of hard to pull off if you don't have a car. Well, as luck would have it, we've got one.
Hey, Mr. William, how's it going?
Fine, how are you?
I'm Tommy, the guy I talked to you on the phone.
Tommy.
This is my partner in crime, Rick.
We took a spin up the road to Louisville, Kentucky, where we found a guy that's got exactly what we need, a 1969 Olds Cutlass.
The guy that I purchased it from was the second owner, and it was in his family for quite a while and was stored away in a barn.
It looks like it's got an old paint job. The paint's all broke up, and there's definitely been a patch put in down here on the bottom.
Yeah, I noticed at a glance this up here, but this will tell us the tale.
This handy little device is called the Filler Detective. It finds body filler for us and tells us how thick it is. This car has a little bit of it, along with a few minor trouble spots. And this old car hadn't been hot rodded around much. It still has the overspray from the last paint job.
I don't see a whole lot of rust. It sure shuts solid. A little bit of rust there, but that's no big deal. Ooh, we got some aftermarket goodies going on here, don't we?
Yeah, we got an intake and carb. Man, this thing definitely looks like it was a driver.
It runs fairly smooth. It's ignition, carburetor, all that stuff seems to be working good. Front end feels a little loose, but not too bad. See, stuff like that for stock replacement parts, it's not that expensive. So if you're gonna buy this and use it for a daily driver, probably wouldn't be bad.
Yeah, we got some pretty big plans for it.
It made it back, man. Well, she ain't perfect, but she ain't 20 grand either. I'd say it's exactly what we need.
Good deal. Well, let's me and you go talk some paperwork, if you don't mind getting it loaded. Good deal. You got any sweet tea? So we've had this thing hanging around in the warehouse for a little while now, and today we finally get to tear into it. This ain't gonna be no scuff job and motor swap. We're going all out on this one.
Now first, the body comes off and gets blasted to give us a solid foundation, followed by loads of body mods to transform this thing into a serious looking machine. Then we're gonna go after the drivetrain, interior, heck, you name it.
And we're gonna give it a custom paint scheme and make it our own with a one-of-a-kind appearance. So stick around, this is gonna be one of our biggest builds ever.
Still ahead, the guys can't get their act together while they tear apart our new Olds. And we take a trip to year one's annual Braselton Bash.
Hey y'all, welcome back. It's time for us to get elbow deep into our latest project, the 69 Olds Cutlass. We're building a Hurst Edition tribute car, and every nook and cranny of this thing has to be redone.
That means that every nut and bolt on this old girl is coming off, and every part is gonna be rebuilt, refreshed, or rejected. I like how the air cleaner tie down is almost as big as the air cleaner. We'll probably end up reusing the hood hinges. Ooh, it's pinned.
When we got the car, we started walking around it to see what we'd keep and what we would change. But with the hood on it, we said, we're definitely gonna have to tuck the bumper in because this car's kind of got an underbite. After taking the hood off, this thing's got a huge underbite. I'm almost afraid to be this close to the front end of it.
All right, I ball shrimp And it's got spicy shrimp, got some of that Cajun shrimp.
Have you noticed that a lot of the sheet metal on this thing is under tension? Bumper bracket sprung out on both the fender releases. It's like everything on this thing's under tension. Somebody was prying on it. Okay, go, tighten it down, all right. Whew, stayed, okay. Okay.
Hey, you cut the part I was supposed to get.
They cut the brace out of it.
Yeah, they cut the whole brace out.
Yeah, I don't guess that's too bad though. I mean, we were kind of expecting having to put fender bottom in it.
Right. Now, personally, I like tearing the doors down when it's still in the car because it's a lot easier to get at everything when it's sitting here in front of you instead of having it sitting up on a rack where you're having to fight it, moving around, and that, and you're always running the risk of denting the thing if it's sitting on a rack. So personally, I think it's a lot better to do it like this. Oh my God!
That was the funniest ever.
Part, especially if the clips are still good. A lot of these screws, it's not going to be a really easy piece to find, so I usually try to keep them and tape them to the part. Now the rear seat was great when this car was hauling around 2.5 kids, a dog, a cat, and a parakeet. But Tommy and I have a few ideas on how to kind of modernize and spruce up the interior. Now the front seat, well, I do live in the South now, and I've got a pretty big front porch, and patio furniture is expensive. What? Thanks for the help, Tommy. I'll tell you one thing for sure, this stuff takes up a lot more room when it's off the car. Now, she's still got a pretty good ways to go, but for now, she's all potential.
Stick around. Chip Foose, Kenny Wayne Shepherd, and a whole herd of hot rod lovers come together to help out some deserving kids. Plus, a paint mixing demonstration.
Thank you so much for being here.
Every September, a group of hot rod enthusiasts get together in Braselton, Georgia. They're here to have a good time, play some poker,
Richard, you won by acclamation.
and lend a hand toward a great cause.
It all goes to Progeria Research Foundation, money for the kids, so we're doing these clinical trials. We haven't found a cure yet, but hopefully we're on our way, and we've done this. This is the 6th year. It's a phenomenal event.
Progeria is a fatal genetic condition that causes children to age at an accelerated rate. The consequences, besides having their childhood stolen from them, are ongoing health issues with heart disease usually claiming their lives at an average age of 13. But there is hope.
There's a lot of progress going on, and it's the only way that progress can happen is from events like Year One.
These guys have done great works and really have done a lot of funding to allow some advancements in the Progeria Research Foundation.
And it's just the way these guys roll. If somebody needs money or they're down on their luck, they always step in and pick them up. And they're just all proud to be part of this, and so are we.
So, a charity poker tournament.
10,000. There we go. Sold.
Along with a charity auction put on with help from guys like Chip Foose.
Can you hear it?
And Kenny Wayne Shepherd. Together we'll go a long way towards helping to find a cure. Well, I had to get out of there before I lost my shirt, but I'm not ready to leave yet. Year One's also putting on this charity car show, and we had to check it out.
Bought me that back in January, and I said, hey, I'm around the corner, so I'm gonna come up here and check out all the nice cars.
This is my third Chevelle, but only the first muscle Chevelle. We've done all this 5.5 years.
Well, my car's a 52 Henry J. Me and my son and brother built it. In memory of my dad, he used to have one of these cars in California. And we're going to redo this photograph. I'm going to take my car to Central City Park like this one is, put it in the same position and stand beside it and take my picture and have it put beside this picture. It'd be 50 years expand between the two cars.
How you doing?
Nice to finally meet you.
Nice to meet you. What's your name?
Chip also camped out here today, raising money for the kids, one autograph, and drawing at a time.
The car popped off the shirt. You saw a couple of lines a second ago, and now all of a sudden there's dimension and almost motion going across this shirt, it looks like. How hard is it to frame a t-shirt?
What do you think about last night? I think we hit like 80 grand. We'll be over 100,000 a day easy. What do you think?
Well, we're here. These guys have a lot of the parts we're gonna need for our Olds. So I figured while we're down here, might as well pick up a few parts. This is Keith, and he knows this place inside and out, because Year One offers enough part numbers to service over 1.5 million applications. What's up, man?
Hey, man, how are you?
Great.
Good to see you.
You got me a quarter panel?
I do. Got a quarter panel scan here for the little Oldsmobile.
Sweet. You got both sides?
Got both sides, left and right.
I'll take that and a few more pieces if you got it.
Let's go shopping.
Sweet.
Okay, now, you know, if it's a Hurst Olds, it's got to have a wing on it.
Man, I can't argue with that at all.
Yeah, let's put this down here.
Well, that's plenty of parts for us to get started on our Olds, but I'm sure we're gonna have another order headed your way.
That's no problem, man. Just give me a call and let me know what you need.
Good deal, man.
Coming up, lay down some love on your ride with custom colors that you can create. You're watching MuscleCar. For a DVD copy of this episode, just go to PowerBlockTV.com and order your copy for just $5.95 plus shipping and handling. Start your own MuscleCar collection, delivered right to your door from the PowerBlock.
You know, people ask me all the time why I enjoy custom paint so much, and in a phrase, freedom of expression. I mean, unlike so many other aspects of car building, with paint, it can be whatever you want it to be.
And one thing's for sure, paint sets the tone of the car. Take old Dark Horse here, for example. The colors we used, or actually the lack of, completely determined the look of the entire project. Now, if you're building a car called Pink Unicorn Slipper Surprise, this might be a little more up your alley. Or how about the Can't We All Get Along stain?
Well, I'm sure you guys get the idea. If you choose the wrong paint job for a car, you can pretty much say bye-bye to a cool looking ride. Now, the first thing you need to do is choose a color. Now, you can do that by looking in a chip book and choosing a color and a code. But personally, I like mixing my own custom colors. But a little word of caution there. Just because it's custom does not mean that it's cool.
Let me show you what he's talking about. This green and red are relatively bright colors in their own can. Mixing them together, you might think you'd come up with some cool burgundy or rich colored emerald green. Not so much. You just wound up with a gnarly looking brown color, and let's face it, most people wouldn't base their car in a color like this. If this is the color you're going after, well, congratulations. But for the other people, this could be an unexpected result.
A paint can get pretty pricey, running upwards of about 150 bucks a quart. And even experienced painters can have a hard time getting the exact shade that they're after. So that's why you really need to familiarize yourself with the brand, the toners, and how everything interacts.
A good way to get your feet wet in the painting world without having a second mortgage your house is with Duplicolor's Paint Shop finishing system. This stuff comes ready to spray straight out of the can, or you can mix it a number of ways to make it perfect for whatever you're doing.
And the system isn't just base coats either. They also have the primers, the candies, the clears, pretty much whatever you're gonna need. So let's crack open some cans, get creative. All right, silver is gonna go down first. I'm gonna lay down some graphics, a lot like you'd see, say, on a drag car or something like that. That way it'll be some nice bright colors. It'll show you a lot of the different combinations that are available, and maybe some application techniques too. We got this second generation Camaro hood from Keystone Automotive. Check them out. They carry a lot more stuff than you might think. Now, I've got some ideas for a few really bold graphics that I want to lay across the top in silver. With the pattern masked off, I'll go ahead and hit it with some unmixed yellow. I've mixed some orange and red to give me a shade that's kind of somewhere in between the two. I'll use it as an accent color to break up the other ones. And now I'm going to tape off a tribal pattern to add another element to the panel. Now this is mostly just for a, hey, that's kind of cool effect. The next color we're going to mix up is going to be kind of a medium charcoal gray. I want it darker than the original silver that we laid down, but light enough that it's not going to look black. So I'm going to start out with the same silver that we used as our background color, and then tint it with some black. Now we're getting somewhere. You can see how much darker it's gotten. I mix these colors together to get a shade that's really close to the color that you see most commonly in tribal designs on human skin. And one last thing, I'll pop some straight black into my airbrush with just a little bit of reducer and lay down some drop shadows. I'm also tossing down some lines on the silver just to add a little depth to it. Now you gotta imagine this on a race car with the majority of the car being silver, this being the inset colors in there and the graphics on the sides, sponsor stickers and stuff on the fenders. I mean, this would look fantastic going down the track. The last thing we need to do is put a coat of clear on it. But for this week, we're all out of time. So until next time, we're out of here.